Wisma Putra adamant in tracking Malaysian job scam syndicate victims. And Immigration Department takes measures ahead of expected visitor surge. The cooperation forged between Barisan Nasional (BN) and Gabungan Rakyat Sabah (GRS) in the state is aimed at ensuring a joint victory in the 15th general election (G15), according to Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob. The UMNO Vice President said what mattered most is not the number of parliamentary seats contested, but rather how many are won, adding that this could only materialize through strong solidarity enjoyed between the two political partners in the Sabah government.
Untuk menang pilihan raya, kita perlu bersolidariti antara kita. Solidariti di dalam UMNO, solidariti antara kita di dalam komponen Barisan Nasional, dan solidariti kalau di Sabah lebih istimewa, solidariti bersama rakan parti yang menguasai kerajaan negeri pada hari ini. Kita masuk bertanding tujuan satu saja. Nawaitu kita satu saja, iaitu untuk menang di dalam setiap kerusi yang kita pertandingkan. Ini nawaitu kita bertanding dalam pilihan raya.
He said this in his speech at the Barisan Nasional Zone 3 Gelombang Biru Blue Wave program in Kimanis today. The program was officiated by BN Chairman Datuk Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi. BN, membered by UMNO, MCA, MIC and Parti Bersatu Rakyat Sabah (PBRS), has forged cooperation with GRS that comprises Sabah Bersatu, Parti Bersatu Sabah, Parti Solidariti Tanah Airku (STAR), Sabah Progressive Party and the United Sabah National Organisation to govern the state. At the same event, Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri also launched the 127 million ringgit Jalan Bukit Manggis Road upgrade project in Kimanis and the 4 million ringgit Bonggawan Second Mosque construction project. The Special Task Force on Jihad Against Inflation Chairman Tan Sri Anwar Musa said the team has received complaints about traders who allegedly hoard supplies to gain excessive profits during the upcoming 15th general election G15. He said the task force viewed the matter seriously and would take necessary action to address the matter. He said a meeting will be held on Tuesday with the enforcement team, including the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs.
Saya ingin membuat seruan kepada semua peniaga untuk memberikan kerjasama, jangan melakukan hoarding ataupun simpanan barang-barang sebab dia mempunyai kesan yang besar. Bila bekalan kurang, rakyat tetap nak beli juga barang yang sama. Jadi dia sememanglah rakyat akan membayar dengan harga yang mahal. Tapi cara sedemikian tidak baik. Yang tidak baik kerana pertama dia menyusahkan orang ramai. Keduanya, mengambil untung yang berlebihan di saat orang ramai susah bukanlah satu perbuatan yang mulia.
He said this to reporters today after handing over assistance to 212 families in the Ketere constituency who were affected by a recent storm. The Minister of Communications and Multimedia and Ketere's incumbent Member of Parliament also urged traders not to raise the prices of goods due to G15 and the monsoon season. He reminded traders that controlled item hoarding was an offence and action could be imposed under certain acts. Wisma Putra remains adamant in tracking down Malaysians who were tricked in accepting job offers in job scams overseas. Foreign Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Abdullah said, as of Friday, 313 Malaysians who became victims of employment syndicates have been rescued from Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar and Thailand. Of the total, he said 255 of them have been brought home, while the remaining 58 are still at the detention depot in the respective countries awaiting deportation.
Seramai 58 masih dalam tahanan di depo di negara-negara berkaitan. Pada waktu yang sama, kita masih menjejak beberapa lagi rakyat Malaysia yang dilaporkan hilang atau masih belum dapat diselamatkan. Pokok pangkalnya kita akan cuba menyelamatkan semua dan tak seorang pun akan kita biarkan tertinggal di sana.
He said this when met at the Perikatan Nasional PN program in Indra Mahkota, Kuantan today. The victims were lured by the syndicates while on holiday abroad, having been promised lucrative salaries. Wisma Putra, in a statement yesterday, said another 10 Malaysians who fell prey to job scam syndicates in Cambodia were rescued and brought home on Friday. The Immigration Department has taken steps to handle the expected increase of visitors from Singapore over the Deepavali long weekend. Its Director General, Datuk Sri Khairul Zaimi Daud, said these include opening manual counters, autogates and motorcycle lanes to ensure operations can be conducted at the highest levels. In a statement today, he urged all those entering the country via the Sultan Iskandar Building, BSI, and the Sultan Abu Bakar Complex, KSAB, checkpoints in Johor Bahru to cooperate with the authorities to ensure that document inspections proceed smoothly. Visitors are advised to ensure their travel documents and other papers are ready and valid to prevent any problems during inspection. Improper documents, he said, can lead to entry being refused. He said the Immigration Department also urged cooperation from travel agencies to provide their list of travellers and number of tour buses as agreed upon during a session at KSAB on 12 October. Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Rayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah, along with Raja Pemaisuri Agong Tuanku Haja Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandaria, today graced a high tea reception to Faith the Jury and reciters of the 62nd International Level Quran Recitation and Memorization Assembly, MTHQA, at Istana Negara. About 200 guests from South Africa, Belgium, Iran, Maldives, Brunei and Thailand, among others, were feted at the reception. Also present were Minister and the Prime Minister's Department of Religious Affairs, Dato Idris Ahmad, and Department of Islamic Development Malaysia, JAKIM, Director General, Dato Hakimah Muhammad Yusof. The 62nd MTHQA kicked off on 19 October at the Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre, KLCC, and will end tomorrow. The King and Queen are expected to grace the closing and prize-giving ceremony tomorrow night. Coming up next, NPRA cancels 5 cosmetic products notification found to contain poison. Stay with us. The National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency, NPRA, under the Ministry of Health, MOH, has cancelled the notification of 5 cosmetic products found to contain scheduled poisons. Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah said the banned products are Sweet 13 Skincare Treatment Cream, Nina Skincare Skin Putih Moisturizer and Skin Dessert Cream, each containing mercury, Heyman Cream, Myconazole and Charisma Bird's Nest Gel, Hydroquinone and Tretinoin. In a statement today, he said the notification of the cosmetic products involved has been revoked by the Senior Director of Pharmaceutical Services and they are no longer allowed to be sold in Malaysia. Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham advised consumers to stop using the products immediately and seek the advice of healthcare professionals if experiencing any discomfort or adverse effects. Elaborating, he said hydroquinone, when applied to the skin, can cause redness, discomfort, unwanted skin discoloration and hypersensitivity and inhibits the pigmentation process, which reduces the skin's protection against harmful ultraviolet rays, thus increasing the risk of skin cancer. He said sellers and distributors should stop selling and distributing these products immediately as it violates the Control of Drugs and Cosmetics Regulations 1984. The National Film Development Corporation Malaysia, FINAS, is targeting 30,000 visitors to the Keluarga Malaysia Creative Community Exploration Program, Ekspresi at FINAS, held today and tomorrow at Studio Merdeka Complex, FINAS, Hulu Kelang. FINAS Chairman Datuk Sri Zuraina Musa said the inaugural program was aimed at making the creative industry popular while boosting development of the industry and networking of its creative activists with FINAS. She said through such a program, it is hoped that the public would be entertained while giving them the opportunity to explore their interests in the creative industry.
Merakyatkan FINAS, merakyatkan industri kreatif ini. Itulah matlamat utamanya. Dan kita ingin menjanakan jaringan sinergi yang kuat di antara FINAS, agensi kerajaan bersama penggiat industri kreatif ini. Ini mustahak. Kita nak adakan komunikasi dua hala.
Met by reporters today, Datuk Sri Zuraina says the main attractions included acting audition sessions with production companies, background voice auditions, and Let's Pitch and meet and greet with local artists. The Let's Pitch is an idea presentation session for microfunds through the production of a short video themed Keluarga Malaysia, Malaysian family, and the winner will receive a sum of 5,000 ringgit. Acting auditions are open to all regardless of age. The Ampang Jaya Municipal Council also opened a summons payment counter for the public with an offer up to 80% discount, besides the Road Transport Department's compound payment counter. FINAS is also holding a lucky draw with a Proton Saga 1.3 car as the main prize, as well as other prizes such as 3 motorcycles, electrical appliances, hotel accommodation packages, and many more. A shuttle bus service is also provided free of charge, operating from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visitors need to park their vehicles at Melawati Mall, behind the Taman Melawati Caltex station, and the area opposite Sakura Crystal. The Ministry of Entrepreneur Development and Cooperatives, KUSCOP, today announced an additional allocation of 50 million ringgit for the National Entrepreneurial Group Economic Fund Tekun Online Financing Scheme, SPOT, for 2023. Its Minister Tan Sri Noh Omar said a total, or rather a 10 million ringgit allocation was made for this year to help online entrepreneurs expand their businesses.
Di samping itu, oleh kerana kita tengok perniagaan atas talian, perniagaan atas talian ni mendapat sambutan dan juga melibatkan ramai usahawan, maka Tekun telah pun kenalkan satu skim sebab kita nak galakkan dan bantu usahawan berniaga atas talian ni.
He said this to reporters after launching the Tekun National Entrepreneurship Seminar for the Shah Alam, Kota Raja, Kapar and Klang parliamentary constituencies in Shah Alam today. He said a total of 253 applications for SPOT have been approved to date, involving a total financing of 1.898 million ringgit. Tan Sri Noh said the SPOT financing scheme also offers lowest interest rate at 3% compared to the normal interest rate of 4% charged to borrowers. He added that Bank Rakyat also provides a special allocation for online entrepreneurs. In a foreign front, Italian Prime Minister launches new government. Stay with us.
To be certain on whether certain information are true or false, follow these tips. Accuracy. Is the news source a credible person or research? Authority. Identify the author of the news and ensure that they are experts in the field or whatever is being written about. Currency. Check the publication date. It may be an old article that was resurfaced for publicity and traction. Coverage. If the news is too short and not specific, it is advisable that you ignore it. Objective. Evaluate the possible purposes of a publication. If it serves no benefit or instead damaging and may result in chaos, it is better to avoid sharing. Tidak pasti, jangan kongsi.
And welcome back. Egypt is bracing itself for November's United Nations Climate Change Conference, or COP27, taking place in the Red Sea city of Sharm el-Sheikh, with several development projects to infrastructure and initiatives to turn the city green. Some of the projects include mega solar power plants and green hydrogen, developing public transportation, renovations to roads, as well as construction of halls for the conference. Due to the size of the project exceeding 50,000 square meters, the organizer has been working nearly around the clock with 2,000 daily workers. Abdel Aziz Ibrahim, Managing Director of Operations Sector at Hassan Alam Construction, said 99% of their work is complete. Many of the city's resorts are also preparing for a major season, with hotels focusing on ensuring a green transition, including the installation of solar plants, recycling, and reducing the use of plastic. About 90 heads of state have confirmed attendance at the climate negotiations, where they will address issues related to the development of green hydrogen, water and food security, achieving a just energy transition towards renewables and vulnerable communities. The themes reflect some of Egypt's priorities as it tries to better promote the interests of developing nations and their need for financing to adapt to the impacts of climate change. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni today formally launched a new government after a handover ceremony at the Prime Minister's office. Meloni, who will lead the country's most right-wing government since World War II, takes office at an especially fraught moment, with Italy's debt-laden economy once again heading into recession, firms buckling under the weight of soaring energy bills, and splits within her coalition over the war in Ukraine. Head of the Nationalist Brothers of Italy, Meloni, swept a victory in an election last month as part of a coalition that included Forza Italia, led by former Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi and Matteo Salvini's Anti-Immigrant League. The new government, the 12th this century, replaces a National Unity Administration piloted by former European Central Bank chief Mario Draghi, who was at the forefront of European Union efforts to sanction Russia after it invaded Ukraine in February. Meloni's party has neo-fascist roots, but she sought to project a moderate image during the election campaign, dropping previous anti-EU rhetoric and pledging to keep Italy at the heart of European and Western institutions. The centre of Madrid on Saturday was filled with noise, whistles, chants and union flags as some 3,000 people took to the street, calling for increased wages and pensions amid the soaring inflation. The cost of living protests in Spain mirrored those happening across France, Belgium, Germany and the Czech Republic, as soaring costs cause people's purchasing power to shrink. Food, fuel, rent and home heating prices have all spiraled upwards, and many people are braced for the worst to come as the cold months close in. The Spanish government has introduced two extraordinary inflation-busting packages over the past few months that have subsidized petrol, public transport and imposed windfall taxes on the excess profits of energy companies and banks. New measures worth $3 billion are also in the pipeline, but protesters say it simply isn't enough. There was some good news this weekend as inflation eased slightly in Spain from a 40-year high in double digits over the summer to 9% in October, a dip that unfortunately won't be felt in the real economy anytime soon. With the harsh weather predicted over the coming months, the Eurozone is bracing for a winter of discontent. Setia inches closer to 2022 Denmark Open crown. That and more next in sports. Kuala Lumpur, KL City FC's hopes of creating team history by lifting the 2022 Asian Football Confederation AFC Cup were dashed after they lost 3-0 to Al Seeb Club from Oman in the final last night. Playing in front of 27,722 spectators in the match at the National Stadium in Bukit Jalil, KL City came close to taking the lead in the 18 minutes, but midfielder Zafri Yahya's shot was saved by goalkeeper Ahmad Faraj Al-Rawahi. 4 minutes later, the Oman Professional League champions stunned the hosts when Ali Sulaiman Al-Busaidi's corner kick was misread by goalkeeper Kevin Ray Mendoza and directly entered the net. Rashid Jabbar Al-Yafai's team continued their onslaught, and Salah Asset Al-Yahyai's cross in the 37th minute was headed in by striker Abdulaziz Humaid Al-Mukbaili to make it 2-0. KL City came out strong in the second half, however, a wet field due to light rain affected their pace. Al Seeb used the opportunity to pile on the misery when Muhsin Al-Ghazani's close-range effort made it 3-0 in the 69 minutes. Al Seeb became the first team from Oman to win the AFC Cup on their debut appearance in the competition. KL City are the second club from Malaysia to reach the AFC Cup final at the Johor Darul Tazim JDT, who emerged champions in 2015 after beating Istiklal from Tajikistan 1-0. And meanwhile, on KL City FC's loss, head coach Boyan Hodak admitted the mistake by the goalkeeper in letting the first goal of Al Seeb pass became a paradigm shift that contributed to the team's downfall. He said Al Seeb is a highly capable and strong team, but nonetheless, an error by talented goalkeeper Kevin Ray Mendoza was considered unusual of him.
And if you remember, somewhere in 5th minute, I think we had a chance that we didn't score. Their goalkeeper saved. So this is. If we score this first goal, maybe game will be different. And also in second half, the moment when maybe you can come back and score goal, their goalkeeper again, we have good chance, but goalkeeper saved. So.
As the champions, Al Seeb brought home the first place prize money amounting to $1.5 million, while KL City FC had to be contented with $750,000 as runner-up. The City Boys were unfortunately unable to follow in JDT's footsteps to clinch the championship in the 2015 edition. In German football, the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich struck twice in the first half to ease past hosts Hoffenheim 2-0 late last night and moved to within a point of leaders Union Berlin. The German champions never had. Malaysia's professional men's singles ace Lee Zijia is just a step away from crowning himself champion of the 2022 Denmark Open following his semi-final victory over former world champion Loh Kian Yew of Singapore. World number 3 Zijia, who last triumphed at the Thailand Open in May, left little to chance, ending the match in straight games of 21-19, 21-15 at Jyske Bank Arena, Odense last night. Zijia, seeded fourth, will go up Shi Yuqi of China, who defeated Japanese shuttler Kodai Naraoka in the other side of the semi-finals. 3 other Malaysians representatives, however, were not as lucky as the Asian champion, as they all failed to advance in the tournament. The hope of a Malaysian conquering the Denmark Open now solely rests on Zijia, as the 24-year-old marked his 3rd consecutive victory over Kian Yew. The Singaporean had recently pulled off a surprise in the Denmark Open when he defeated world number 1 player Victor Axelsen in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, Zijia's opponent in the final, Shi Yu, had to play 3 sets before he was able to eliminate his 4th-ranked Japanese opponent. Based on the record from the past 3 encounters, Zijia had only won once against Yu Chi, with their last clash in the quarterfinals of the Malaysians Masters 2020. While Zijia inches ever closer to his first title in 5 months, other national representatives were not as fortunate. Reigning men's doubles world champion Aaron Soboyik were overcome by Indonesia's Marcus Fernaldi Gideon, Kevin Sanjaya Sakumulyo in a 51-minute encounter that lasted 3 sets. Aaron Buyik lost the first set, 17-21, but rose to fight back to take the second set, 21-13, forcing the game into a decider. However, in the third set, the national duo was unable to maintain their nerves during the last 5 points, and they lost 17-21. Meanwhile, another men's duo, Ong Yusin, Teo Yi, lost to Indonesian pair Fajar Alfian, Muhammad Rian Ardianto, 16-21, 20-22. As for the third Malaysian team, professional mixed doubles duo, Goh Sun Huat, Siobhan Lai Jami, bowed out after losing 16-21, 22-24 to Chinese pair Zheng Ziwei, Huang Yaqiong. Sun Huat, Siobhan Lai previously excelled throughout the Denmark Open, even pulling off a surprise victory over second-seeded Japanese pair Yuta Watanabe, Arisa Higashino in the quarterfinals. Dietrich Mateschitz, the billionaire founder of energy drink company Red Bull, died yesterday at the age of 78. Formula One and the Red Bull team mourned the death of the Austrian business mogul, praising his international achievements across a variety of sports. Red Bull Racing principal Christian Horner confirmed the news of Matesich's death ahead of qualifying for the US Grand Prix in Austin, Texas, where the team can clinch a fifth Constructors' Championship. Mateschitz bought the Ford-owned Jaguar team at the end of 2004 and turned it into Red Bull Racing, an outfit whose maverick image masks a fierce competitive spirit. The Austrian also bought the Italy-based Minardi team and renamed it Toro Rosso, the Italian for Red Bull. They now compete as AlphaTauri, the company's fashion brand. The rival of Adrian Newey, one of the sport's greatest designers who had pen-title-winning cars for Williams and McLaren, turbocharged Red Bull's progress, and Germany's Sebastian Vettel won 4 titles in a row from 2010 to 2013. Red Bull also won the Constructors' title in all 4 seasons. Wrapping up the news at 10. In our top story, Wisma Putra adamant in tracking Malaysian job scam syndicate victims. Don't forget to tune in to Updates at noon at 12:30 p.m. tomorrow. And before we go, all of us at RTM's English News Desk would like to wish you and your family a happy Deepavali. Stay safe wherever you may be and have a good one. Till then, it's Lights Out. I'm Brendan Paul. Thank you for watching. Take care.